Hello, and welcome to the Vlogging Pod. Tonight, we are joined by Diana Colleen. Welcome to the room, Diana. I hope, again, I said your name right. Fingers
You
crossed.
did. Yeah,
Oh,
thank you
yeah.
so much for having me on your show. I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. We need another one of those. Yay! Yes! Another one down. I got that. Awesome. So now, Diana, tell us a little bit about yourself so that the room is a little more familiarized with you.
Sure. So I am a speculative fiction author. My debut novel came out a couple of weeks ago. It's called They Could Be Saviors. And it looks at billionaireism not as success, but as a mental illness that can be
Mm,
cured.
nice. You know, that really fits in with today's society.
Sure does.
Yeah, it does. I mean, without going down that road. But if you go, that's fine. I'll go with you, but I try not to take my guests too far down it. Because I mean, I got a lot to say on that stuff. But anyways,
I wrote a whole book about it.
all right. Now I'm going to be on my buy list. There we go. When you talk about speculative author, now tell me what you
Mhm.
mean by that.
So speculative fiction is a pretty big umbrella. It covers sci-fi, fantasy, romantasy, that kind of thing. But it really asks a what if question. So any speculative book has a what if. So my what if is what if the only way to save the planet is to kidnap the billionaires destroying it?
Mm, interesting. Again, my mind goes to today's standards. I don't know what's wrong with me.
So many people have said, I wish we could make this nonfiction.
Like fiction that it's already happened, like, yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
how the world was saved.
Right.
I
Yeah.
could start writing up some new bios for this book. Okay, so now the book is called They Could Be Saviors, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's also the title of our room, just in case anyone comes in and you wonder about that. And also, I put a little bit of the bio in the book down below so that people understood. So, what exactly for you inspired this book?
So many things. So I grew up with a lot of trauma, and in my early 20s I was sexually assaulted by my boss, and my whole life kind of fell apart, and I moved from Canada to the United States and just kept pushing all of my trauma down. I was one of those people that put on a brave face and didn't really deal with my stuff.
Mm,
And then in years later in 2018, everything boiled to the surface and I became suicidal. And I was very fortunate to find an underground psychedelic assisted therapist who I believe saved my life and sort of put me on a different trajectory for my life. I have trained as a psychedelic facilitator now, and that's kind of where the book birthed from, because psychedelic assisted therapy is how the egos of the billionaires are broken down so that they together to solve climate change. So that's where the psychedelic assisted therapy part came from. And during my healing process, I learned other tools that keep me alive. So
mm,
meditation is
mhm.
something that has really helped me. And I I believe this book was sort of given to me by the universe through meditation. About 3.5 years ago, I was meditating, and this fully formed concept of this book came in meditation. And I ignored it for a while,
Mm,
but it kept
mhm.
coming back. And I was like, I don't know what to do this with this. I'm not a writer, but it wouldn't leave me alone. And my my partner at the time was he's like, you're in a job that you're really unhappy in, and I can support you if you want to quit your job to write this book. So that was a massive leap of faith, but I did it. And I sat at my desk at home for 8 to 10 hours every day for over 3 years writing this book.
Nice. I can relate to a lot of what you said, but I think quite a few women can, if you know what I mean, if you break it down,
Mhm.
especially when you
Mhm.
go over the statistics, how often it does happen. Uh,
Mhm.
my first job, same. and I quit, but I was 18. It was my very first job right out of the door.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I even had a witness in our lobby that so, yeah, so not only
Wow.
did you have a traumatizing moment, you had to have someone witness, I guess, in alongside if I really wanted to, you know, push issues at the time, that would have been a good thing, but I was naive
Sure.
and
Yeah.
and and you feel a lot of emotions. Again, I went to therapy as well. I spent a couple years, but I went right into bulimia and eating. I it
Oh,
was a
wow. Yeah.
way Yeah, it was a way to control myself. I had
Mhm.
other little things, we all do. And so, yeah. I understand totally what you're saying because it wasn't, I mean,
Yeah.
even now you can see that I have an issue about saying, and I wish that I could tell you that was the only time in my life, but it happened a few
Right?
more times. Yeah, it happened a
Yeah,
few more times in my life. Not the same person, but yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah, women same with me, like, as a child, I was molested by a neighbor. It's like
Mm.
the I don't think men understand how prevalent it is. It's just heartbreaking how many women
Well,
have to go through that.
I know it from the other side too. I know a man who's very close to me who went through the same thing. So, there are a few that do, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
and it they might even be more silent than women are.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the shame for sure.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think people understand too if you haven't been there, because when you watch a movie, you're like, "Oh, I wanna do this, I would do that," you know?
Oh, yeah.
And and I have found for myself, I can only speak for myself, I froze. I was and I
Mhm.
st and it when it happened to me again and again, well, one time you can't count because I was jogging, so I
Mhm.
was already in motion, but, still, the shock, yeah, and
Yeah,
I
like,
a lot of times I
I
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was like, when I look back at it, I I I try not to blame myself anymore, but there was a long period of time where I did blame myself, like, I could have
Mhm.
made different choices. But that's part of our healing process is forgiving ourselves, even though it was not our fault. It is absolutely not our fault, but a lot of us blame ourselves, and that's something that is also traumatic, is the blame that we put on ourselves.
Well, and it's not just that, it's when you finally do come out and say something, you're questioned, like, I know for one incident, and this was a latter one that happened in my later years, and I was married at the time. For me, when I finally said something, because I forget, he was brought up in a conversation about somebody saying that, and I said, "I don't like him." And they were like, "How could you not like him? He's so this and he's so that." And this was someone that was really close to us. He's since he's demise since, very person that we were very close to in our family. And I said who it was and what happened. He goes, "How could he wouldn't do that.
Mm.
He wouldn't hurt a fly." And immediately he went and asked him, and he admitted it, which shock
Wow.
and surprise. Oh, yeah, I know, shock and surprise. But it's funny that it should be enough that you say it. And,
Mm.
I mean, I know there's always someone out there who fraudulently says it, comes forward, and that makes it bad for everybody else, but, if you look at
Yeah,
the national odds, more people that do come forward, it did happen, than the ones who came forward and it didn't. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that I would rather believe someone until it's proven that it didn't happen, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes.
trust women. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it becomes that whole man in the woods or bear in the woods.
Yep, and there's a lot of talk about that lately.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, neither. I really wouldn't wanna see either, okay?
Right.
So, when you went through therapy and you referred to it as psychedelic, can you explain
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, so, there I think there's definitely a place for talk therapy, and it helps a lot of people, but when I was suicidal, nothing was helping me. Talk therapy wasn't helping, antidepressants weren't helping, and I knew that if I didn't get some kind of different help, I was not going to be around, and somebody told me about psychedelic assisted therapy, and he referred me to his therapist. So with psychedelic therapy, you meet with the therapist for like 2 sessions, usually about 2 sessions before you have a full day with a substance. And then after the full day with the substance, you have at least one other session with the therapist to talk about what you learned during that day and how to integrate that learning into your life. So when we talk about a psychedelic session, it encompasses all of that. It's not just the day with the substance. But the day with the substance is very different than sitting with a therapist for a day. So you are under the influence and there's very little talking. The therapist is there to keep you safe first and foremost and to help you through anything that might get you stuck or scared. So with certain substances, you can have a bad trip, and the therapist is there to keep you grounded and bring you back to reality and sort of guide you through the tough spots. But for the most part during the day, you're really looking inward. You typically have an eye mask on and you're lying down in bed and you're just inside of yourself. And there's no like you go in with intentions. So the first couple of sessions with the therapist, you talk about, the things that you need to work on and what you would like to get out of the session. But once you're under the influence, you don't know what's going to happen. And the medicine just has a way of knowing what you need to work on. So it's quite surprising some of the things that come up in the session.
Hmm, that's interesting. And so when you went through this process, I believe that from what I understand, you used it to transform your characters?
Oh, so in the book?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So part of the book is getting the billionaires to actually agree to do the psychedelic therapy because you can't force somebody into it and have a good result. So in
Mm,
order for them to have a good result, they actually did have to agree to it. But yeah, so certain substances really have a way of breaking down ego and allowing somebody to see things from very, very different perspectives. A lot of these substances have a way of showing you how you are connected to everything, to everybody, to nature. And I think that's the one of our big issues in society right now is disconnection. And and I think billionaires are very disconnected
oh, yeah.
from the rest of humanity. So the psychedelic therapy really helps show them how they are part of humanity and nature.
Mm, that's interesting. So, well, as we go through your book, explain to me your word building, your balance of speculative elements with the real world climate issues.
Yeah, so the only reason that it's a near future novel, and there's no dates in it, but I would think like somewhere like 30 years from now. And really the only reason that it is in the future rather than today's world is because it uses some technology that doesn't exist in today's society. So the way the billionaires are kidnapped is with a technology that doesn't exist. So those things needed to be in the book for the story to happen,
Mhm.
but everything else is how our world is today. So, the sea level is rising slightly. In the book, there's mention of a park that doesn't look quite the way it used to because some of the beach is gone. But overall, it is our world and our society as it is today.
Mm. Well, that's the whole part of fiction is the joy of adding. You know what I mean? I've written a few books myself, and that is the joy. I did a sci-fi, and I think that's the
Oh,
joy of it. Yeah, I had to make my own I had to do a whole bio and stuff for myself just on the items that I chose to create so that I remembered what they did and what they were. Um
I have total respect for people who do a complete world build with,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
systems and stuff. I'm like, "Wow, that's talent." I don't know if I could do that. So,
We
kudos to you.
well, thank you know how you said that you got your book from meditating, but you had to go
Mhm.
back and revisit it.
Oh, yeah.
I did mine from a dream, and I know some people
Oh,
say that, but
wow.
I woke up from the weirdest dream ever, and I had goggles on, like, you could see different things in these goggles, like, in bubbles, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
And, oh, it's a trip, literally. But
No drugs needed.
yeah, yeah, every once in a while. But, yeah, I get that. Now I've tried meditation. I'm not real good about that. My brain goes too much. I'm constantly
But
thinking about
that's why
this.
th but
Go
that's why
go
you
ahead.
need to meditate. So, I'm the same way, like,
Yeah.
especially at night when I'm trying to sleep, my brain is, like, way overactive and I can't sleep, and so I thought
Mhm.
meditation would be super hard for me, and it is. At the beginning, when you first start out, I think everyone is like, "I can't do this. I have all these thoughts coming in," and it's not necessarily about getting rid of your thoughts. There's so many different ways to meditate. There's even walking meditations where you can be outside walking and meditating at the same time. So it's just a matter of finding a way that works for you and not having expectations right away.
I'm a fidgeter, so and I used to detour myself because my dad would get on me for moving my legs continuously while sitting still. And I started to pick it back up because then my husband and I had a conversation about how the thinnest people are the fidgeters. I'm like, "I'm fidgeting." I'll get back on the wagon, so I move my legs a lot. So I
Yeah.
don't find at the end of night, it's kinda like rocking myself all day. So by the end of the day, I'm
Mhm.
wore out from fidgeting, and I'm ready to sleep. I'll go in my recliner and I'll be out. So I don't have so much that, but
Nice.
I have tried it out here. I have gotten some of those Japanese seat cushions, you know what I'm talking about? I forget there's a specific name for it, but I
Oh,
can't think of it.
the
And
low ones where you yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I've got, like, 2 in my little makeshift fireplace out here and, well, underneath it, but so they're decorative right now. I intentionally had a purpose to do it, and I even did I know, I did one of those apps and everything, and I've tried multiple times, but my brain wanders so much, and I'll find myself looking around the room, and I'm like, "You know what? I bet you something would look great right there," and I'll get the tape measure out, start doing doodling to write stuff down. I am yeah, that's how I deal with stuff. Even
Yeah.
when my father was sick, the very first time I rearranged my husband's closet.
Hey, at
Uh,
least you're getting things done.
Laura says in the room, she says she's amazing at it. Yeah, I refurb stuff in the weirdest ways. You wouldn't understand unless I actually showed you, but I am horrible at that. That's like I said, my brain never shuts down. Now, when you started world building, did you find that you had to write charts to keep it all order? Because I know we talked about how we were probably in the same period of life habits when we were talking about menopausal brain, so prior to our going to the podcast. So did you find you have to keep a board to keep it all settled in your head?
No, so I was a total pantser. I did not plot or plan anything, and when I had writer's block, I meditated, and what came next came to me. And really, there's nothing in the book that's, like, super complicated. Like, there was really nothing to keep track of. And I'm not saying the book is boring because it's not complicated, but no, there was nothing that needed to be kept track of, really.
Now I'm really gonna have to buy this book because I'm a pantser too. I don't I what no, I take that back. I tried to plot, okay? In the very beginning, I plotted to the end of freaking time, okay? I had charts, I had graphs, I had all the stuff and how they would interlac through books to come. I had it all figured out.
Mhm.
But as I started to write more books and I was like, "I don't got time for this." Might explain some reviews, but that's fine. I would I still do characters. Now, do you write up your characters? Do you keep a bio on them, like hair,
So
trait?
I tried.
You
I
try.
got all kinds of I got so like, I bought all these different programs to help with that,
Mhm.
and I would try to do it, and I just like, "No, it's not for me." And with the next few books, like, I've started trying to plot them out and do the things that people are like, "Oh, you gotta do this to keep organized," and I try so hard, and it's just not how my brain works. So I think that, like, if I could figure it out, it would save me so much time with editing because when you're a pantser, the editing is ridiculous.
Yeah, you are s Laura goes, "She's being modest." I'm telling you, Laurel is my cheer group, but keep in mind she's on the payroll, so I love her, but she's still on the payroll, so I always tell her that. I'm like, "You're being way too nice, checks in the mail, I got you." But anyways, for me, I have tried so many times to do different stuff like that,
Mm,
and so I feel you. The way you're talking, it's like it's so familiar to myself.
yeah.
So, I get you.
I wanna be that I want to be the person with the cork board with the Post-its and everything. I want to be that person. I also wanna be the person with the clean desk and the clean bedroom and the clean house, and that's just not me.
I have part of that. I have part. I there's a sec My closet's downstairs in the basement, and it's horrendous right now, but that's another podcast in itself. I'm trying to clean it up, but it's horrendous. The upstairs is okay. I'm very good about having stuff where it goes. My office is the same way. I do now my husband's office, it drives me crazy where stuff piles up on his desk, so but every other place in my life, I like organization, except for my clothes. I hate folding, I hate putting them away, and I what's worse is I once worked at Kroger's when they had a clothes section, and I folded clothes for what? 2 well, how many years was it? 3 or 4 years, I was folding clothes. It might be my hate desire of it now,
Could
the way I
be.
hate it so
Could be.
much. And I have too many clothes, but I feel you too because where you wanna have that professionalism, you wanna look like you have it all put together. And I did that
Mm.
specifically, especially when it comes to this podcast. Initially would get all dressied up, I'd put makeup on and be all ready to go, so I could be on a camera where it was still set up the way it is right now, where it's just my head in the office. I mean, in the sound booth, sorry, in my she shed. And I'd have a briefcase and I'd bring all my paperwork out here all prepped and ready. Now I'm down to in my PJs, hair's piled up on my head, and the
Nice.
camera's so high you can't see my face.
I like it.
That's where
That that's my day too. Like, if I only get out of my pajamas to go walk around the lake, and I force myself to do
I know, right? I
that.
have to put on a bra. I don't care if it's a
Oh,
sports
no,
bra.
I
I
don't
have to
wear
put it
bras.
on. Oh, yeah. See,
No.
see, you're right up my alley. It must be the whole menopause phase of
Oh,
our
yeah.
lives. It's like
I just don't care
another
anymore.
layer, right? Another layer to add to the heat wave. No, thank you. I'll
Yeah.
pass.
Yep. Yeah, if you don't wanna look at it, don't look at it.
Oh, I know. I don't even worry about who's looking at me now. It's like so far from removed from you know what I mean?
Uh,
So, yeah, my husband I wish I cared a little bit more, but you get
I
what you
I
get.
I clean up nicely, like, if there's an occasion, I look nice, but if I don't have to, why would I bother?
I know. I always think I look nice until someone takes a picture, and it's like, "Why?
Oh,
Why'd you do
I
that?
know,
Why?"
same. I look in the mirror and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Look cute," and then, yeah, picture and I'm like,
Right?
"Oh, Shrek."
Right? We went out with friends, and this was around Halloween, and she took a pictures of us, and why didn't no one else thought anything because she did it with my phone, so I luckily was able to destroy the evidence. But before I did, I had one, and I even showed Laura, who's in the room, and I zoom into it, and I took a picture because I also do podcasts, and I have different setups in I have 2 setups out here on the shed, and I have 1 in the house because I have an office in there as well. And so I was at the office and I did a podcast, one of my political rants and stuff, but political rants, there's the right typo there, typo in motion. And I took a picture, it came from the live feed and I just screen captured a piece. I said, look, this is me, no makeup, from a camera, no filter, no nothing, just a regular camera on my desk, a security camera, no less, where I should look horrible, you know? I showed Laura, I go, "This is me, just this is someone who tried to take my picture," and I've never in my life be like, "I don't ever want my picture taken again in my life." It was bad. It was so bad.
I'm the exact same way. My husband is always wanting to take selfies and take pictures, and I'm like, "No, please stop."
I'm okay with selfies as long as I have control of the phone. I mean, it's upward. It's upward. You take the phone upward and
Right.
lean it down. That's
Yeah,
your best.
that's right. Yeah,
Not
I was a professional photographer, and there's a
mm,
reason why I was behind the camera. But yeah, I know all the angles, but, like, if I'm in front of the camera, I forget. Like, I pose other people, but I can't pose
oh,
myself.
I know, right? It's yeah, I'm so with you on that. I really am, because 'cause I'll go in the mirror, even when my hair's part of my head, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I look cute today." Then someone takes my picture, like, it looks like if I had my head in a
Yeah,
trough.
yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither. I don't either, but, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, as we're having these conversations, tell me, what conversations do you hope will come from readers about your book?
I guess there's kind of 3 big things, right? So there's the psychedelics, there's climate change, and there's billionairism. And I really wanna change the narrative around billionairism from looking at them as heroes and as successful, and we wanna be like them, to they have a mental illness, we need to help them, we need to treat them. You know, it's hoarding at its worst. You look at hoarders on television, you can see that they're mentally ill, but billionaire hoarding is affecting every single person on this planet and the planet itself. And I just want to change the narrative around billionairism. And as far as climate change goes, we're all being asked to take shorter showers and change our behavior. And there's over 7 billion of us, but there's roughly 3,200 billionaires in the world. And if they change their behavior, climate change would virtually be solved just by them changing their behavior. So we should be telling them that they need to change, not asking 7 billion people to change.
Right. Now, I know at one point when we talk about climate change, I think they said about 80 years, but saw a thing this morning, and it could be because we were going to talk about your book. See, I'm still researching. I told you my brain doesn't shut up. I watched a segment saying that. I know, right? It just doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Goodness help me. Anyways, prayers of the universe to help me. But I heard that it was shortened now because just this last year, and I could talk a lot about why that is, and
Mhm.
billionaires would be a big portion of that.
Yeah.
So, but even that, I have found, I know my husband and I, we do a lot of recycling. I mean, he probably
Mhm.
hates me on days I've bought stuff with all the boxes, but I know, because he says I never break them down. And since he's in the room listening, I can't say nothing on that. I am deny, deny, deny. But anyways, but yeah, it's 80 years. Now, for you, what came the biggest point where that was a major pivotal point in your life that you really wanted to focus on conservation and as far as where our world is going?
Well, like, I've always been like you. I recycle, I eat plant-based, I try and do everything that I can for the planet, for the environment. I don't even have children, but, like, I think about future generations and what can I do to make the world a better place for them, and so that's always been who I am. And then, just in the past few years, I've just been reading so much about billionaires and what they're doing and how they're affecting the environment. And for example, like all of them spending billions and billions of dollars on rockets. We're going to colonize Mars. I'm like, what? Look, Mars doesn't have an atmosphere. It doesn't have water. We have all the things we need here. We just need to fix what we're doing here. And if all of those billionaires took all of that money and put it together and worked together, they probably could have solved climate change by now and made
Right.
Earth livable for hundreds and hundreds of years to come. It's I just get so angry when I see, like the plastics problem. We're being told don't buy plastic. How about we tell them don't produce plastic? Why is the onus on us not to buy the things? The onus should be on the producers not to produce the
Well,
things that are killing us.
and the thing about it, and I'm assuming we're probably on the same page, we are probably both financially able to do a lot more than some people.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
when you're on a tighter budget, plastic's cheaper than buying something in
Mhm.
a jar or,
Yep.
or a canister or making it
Yeah.
yourself. And especially if you
Yeah.
have children, it's those instant meals because you're probably working 2 jobs yourself to put that
Right.
meal on the thing. And a lot of times those come in trays. And what are those trays? Plastics. And
Yep.
also, if you look at plastic now, there was a research saying that more people now have plastic in their body, those tiny little particles.
Microplastics. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, because of a
Yep.
lot of this stuff. And
Exactly.
it pushed me to be able to do ceramic as far as, like, any leftovers. I got rid of I recycled all plastic containers. I don't keep any of that
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you put it in the microwave, you heat it up,
It
you know?
leaches in. Yep.
Yes, and
Yep.
then you're taking it into your own body. So, yeah, I fully
Mhm.
understand that. I mean, if we just look at our weather changes, climate change,
Yeah.
it's very hard to dispute that, when you
Right?
have the drastic changes, but I'll still run into
Yeah.
someone that'll say, "Oh, no, that's not real." And then
Right?
I've even mentioned that tell people, like, "Our world only has 80 years left unless we do something."
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'll be dead by then." Well, who you leaving behind? You know what I
Right.
mean? Um,
Right. Yeah.
so, yeah, I
And I
get that. Go ahead.
I think people have sort of given up because we think we only have 80 years. But,
Mhm.
like, if you think about the brilliance of humans and the things that we have come up with in the past, I fully believe that there is somebody who can solve this, and I have hope. I have hope for our future, and I want to bring hope to everybody, and that's what my book is about, is hope. That, most dystopian books are all doom and gloom, and, this is the future that we're gonna have. My book is like, we can change our future. There is still time for us to fix this.
Right, I agree with that. I really do. Even right now, I still agree that there's time to fix it. It's just a matter
Mhm.
of but I have found and I'll try not to get this political, I really will try. But I basically think that it surprises me even when you talk about climate change and because we pulled out of the what is it? The one that was in
The
Paris,
Paris. Yeah.
yeah, and if you think about a lot of these things, it's like the informational is there. It's just a matter of moving away from it, but it's just like everything else that
Mm.
I found current as things that are happening in society now. Unless it happens to you personally, you
Yeah,
don't get involved. And there are
exactly.
some people that are consciously aware, especially because it's happening to your neighbors, and you probably know what I'm talking about, and it's happening
Mhm.
here and there, so you're more aware because you're seeing it. But
Right.
there are more people, like, in where, like, kinda where I live. I live out in the middle of nowhere, where a
Mm.
farm area, and you don't see it as much, we see it
Yeah.
on the news, so you're disattached. Same
Yeah.
thing with the weather, you're
Yeah.
disattached. I live in
Yeah.
Ohio, and a lot of things I have to dig into our own stuff here to find out what's going on and everything, but because I'm so back from it and I'm just seeing the bigger elements happen
Mhm.
around, the bigger, louder things that are popping around me, you miss the subtle things like this, just as exactly with climate change,
Right.
and it's very hard not to. I mean, look at the days that we had recently. I mean, in Ohio, we had 50 some days right after Christmas. You know what I mean? We hit 60 one day, and now
Wow.
we were what, 9 degrees today.
And, like,
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks ago, Australia had a heat wave. They were at 47 Celsius, which is, like, I don't know, 100 and I don't know what it converts to, I'm Canadian. But, animals are dying in the hundreds of thousands, and
Mhm,
the thing and, like, I'm in Washington State, and we had a massive flooding event in December, and I think the issue is that, like, when it's on the news, they talk about it like, "Oh, it's a heat wave. Oh, it's a flooding event," instead of, "This is climate
mhm,
change. This is the effect of climate change on this part of the world."
mhm.
I want people to start using the words climate change instead of
Well,
heat.
and if you think about it, and this could go back to your book, and this might even be within your own pages, a lot of the billionaires are buying up the media,
Mhm.
and a lot of things are not allowed to be pushed out anymore. They're
Yeah,
held back, or they're reserved, or you can't say that, or you can't say that, or
yeah,
you're fired kind of thing. So,
mhm,
because I
yeah,
remember there was a certain point where climate change was mentioned, and now it seems like it's faded in the dark that you barely hear it unless you go looking for it.
right. Yeah, that's definitely part of the what's going on in this country right now.
Right,
But
we
we're
could
almost
write a
done
new
here,
book
right?
right here. Yeah, we could write a new book, episode 2.
Right.
Let's start writing. We'll cut the 3 years in half because we've only got 80 left. We can't afford 3 more years for another book. We need to
Right.
get that going. We need to get on that, and
Yeah,
we'll just we'll talk with get some people on here and talk about how we can stop this climate change, even if
yes.
it's just one person at a time.
Yeah.
So, before I let you go, I have to ask you, what's next? What do you see? Are we looking for a book 2 on this?
Mhm. So, I've been promoting it as a standalone because it has a very clear ending, but there's
Mhm.
a lot of room for more, so I do have 2 more, so it's basically a trilogy. Then there's also an adjacent book, so different characters, but happening at the same time as this book, and then I have another book that my husband really wants me to write first that I really wanna write as well, but everyone's telling me I have to write the next 2 in this trilogy.
Well, now I've gotta get my hands on this book.
Well
I
well, I'll get your address, and I'm gonna send you a copy.
Oh, no, no. I've got the thing. I have the, where do you got it? Where you get the plan, so I get some free. So if you're in the
Well,
Kindle
Kindle
kinda
Unlimited,
things,
I'm not.
yeah, so
I'm on
ah,
Kobo Plus. Kobo Plus, but
you
not
you
Kindle
know,
Unlimited.
I'm over here sighing and going, "Ah," but I'm not either. My books aren't a part of it either. They were in the very beginning, but they aren't because I couldn't option them out to other places. So,
Right,
yeah, I
that's
feel
it,
you.
yeah.
Any chances of an Audible coming out of you?
I've been talking about that. I might do it myself, set up a little studio in my clothes closet. Might try that. Hiring a narrator is at least
Expensive? Yep.
$3,000,
Mm.
so
Yeah,
but I
been there,
know that
done that.
so many
Now I'm doing it
people.
myself too, so I feel you. Yep. I did 2. I've done 2, and I already wanna redo those because I've done the podcast, I feel like I can do a better narrative job now. Except when I'm
Right?
talking to a guest, then I ramble, so but when I'm scripted, I'm good. No, I'm definitely gonna get my hands on the book, so no worries there.
Great. Well, I
But yeah,
appreciate that.
well, it was a pleasure having you on.
It
Hoping
was
I
a
don't
pleasure being here.
I hope I didn't filter you too much by, like, raring over here in my corner going, "Hey, I got something to say on that."
No, I think this was great. It was a real conversation. I love it.
Oh, wonder I try to do that, I really do. I wanna
Yeah.
be able to make it as if we're just sitting down having coffee. In my case, buckets of water over here, but that's alright.
Yeah,
Gotta
no,
stay
this was
hydrated.
absolutely. It's very important.
It is. I wanna thank you so much, and if you ever wanna come back, please hit me up because I would love to go into more detail. We can even do it with this book, we can do it with the next one's coming. You're in the writing process of the next ones, yes?
Fish, yeah, like, a little bit. I have to get I'm doing a book club guide that will be available to my newsletter subscribers. and it'll be available on Amazon for like 99 cents if you're not a newsletter subscriber. Yeah, so the book club guide is the next thing that has to get done. And I just want to mention to your listeners, if you're anyone's in a book club and at least 5 members buy the book, shoot me an email at hello@dianacolleenauthor.com and let me know, and I will come to your book club via Zoom and we can discuss the book together.
Nice. Nice. Now I don't have to buy 5 copies just so I get you to come on here.
Well,
Now I'll be like, "Where were we at from the podcast?" You're like, "Great, now I have a stalker, now I've got a blog, I don't." I'm joking. You were a delight. I love having people on that we hit it off, so it was a lot of fun for me, so thank you so much for
Me
being with us
too.
tonight.
Thank you so
Anytime you
much. I
Oh,
appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. You're welcome. Anytime you wanna come back, be my guest. I mean, it'd be a pleasure. You know how to reach me. We just go through Podmatch and set it
Absolutely.
up.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the
You're
rest of your
welcome.
evening.
You too. Thank Diana, Colleen, and thank you to our listeners. As always, guys, until next time, bye-bye for now.